Hey guys, welcome back. It's been about a week since I've done a video. I've been super busy with IRL stuff, but we're back. So currently I'm in the PTR, the public test realm, and we're going to be looking at the Void Gauntlet, which is an item I'm super stoked about, and I'm going to be running. It's an int weapon, so I'm going to be running it with my life staff most likely. So here we have one of the Void Gauntlets that we can take a look at. And let's go ahead and look at the skill tree. So we have Annihilation, which is going to be a little bit more of a melee build. I haven't looked too much at Decay, but we'll look at Decay after. Let's go ahead and focus on Annihilation first. So the first skill we have is Void Blade. Summon a blade of void energy that converts your basic attacks to melee. Tap basic attacks to perform a quick slash that deals 100% weapon damage, or hold to perform a thrust attack that deals 150% weapon damage. Both attacks inflict disintegrate on successful hits, dealing 5% weapon damage per second and reducing damage absorption by 5% for 8 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. That's pretty rad. Next, we have Oblivion. Summons a circular rift of void energy at your feet that deals 30% weapon damage per second to enemies and grants empower to self and friendlies, increasing damage by 20%. 5-meter radius, 6-second duration. Petrifying Scream. Unleash a void-infused scream, dealing 100% weapon damage, staggering and inflicting root to enemies 5 meters in front of you. Disables enemies movement for 2 seconds. That's pretty cool. Little stun. So we'll go through these really quick. Forsaken Pact, 10% damage while below 50% mana, 10% critical chance while above 50% health. That's pretty cool. Keen Confidence. Refreshing Precision, 10% cooldown reduction on all abilities on critical hit. That's really cool. Keen Humility, 10% crit chance while all abilities are on cooldown. Empowering Proximity, gain Empower when casting abilities within 5 meters from an enemy, increasing damage by 10% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Efficient Harvest. Harvest Essence health drain is reduced by 50% while below 25% mana. Leeching Agony. On critical hit, gain health equal to 50% of damage done. Refreshing Frailty. 5% cooldown reduction on all abilities when successfully hitting enemies affected by 3 or more debuff stacks, can be from different debuffs. So Ultimate is Void Caller. On successful ability hit, gain a stack of Void Essence. At 6 stack, consume all stacks. Gain a 3-meter aura that self-heals and friendlies. Heals self and friendlies for 30% weapon damage and deals 30% weapon damage per second to enemies within. Healing scales exclusively with focus. 5-second duration, 20-second cooldown. And we'll go over these real quick. So the Void Blade upgrades gain Fortify on start, increasing damage absorption by 20% for 5 seconds. 10% increased damage on Void Blade attacks. Successful thrust attacks self-heal 5% weapon damage per disintegrate stack, scales exclusively with focus. So for Oblivion, your attacks inflict weaken on targets inside the radius, reducing their damage by 5% for 5 seconds per hit, stacks up to 3 times. Invigorating Oblivion, 15 stamina per second for self and friendlies while inside the radius. For Petrifying Scream, root duration increased by 1 second on targets below 50% health. Fortifying Echoes, gain Fortify for each enemy hit, increasing damage absorption by 10% for 10 seconds per hit, stacks up to 3 times. So although this is an int weapon, it looks like this tree is a little bit more melee and lifesteal based, but the healing looks like it's specifically for focus because it's focus scaling. So we'll go ahead and try out some of the skills. Here's the blade. So we'll see how long it lasts. It's pretty cool. I really like the animation. The swing feels nice. And this is the PTR, so I can't really teleport around pretty easily. We'll go test on some of these guys over here. So yeah, I'm thinking this is mostly going to be used as a companion to the life staff. Oop, there's a scream. Nice. Gives you some fortify and a couple other buffs. So because the lifesteal is ooh, this is really cool. Very nice, very nice. So since it's scaling with focus, the self-heal, this build or this skill tree is most likely going to be paired with Life Staff, I would assume. So let's go ahead and respec, and we'll try out the other build and go through those skills. So I'm just going to get everything in this tree. Okay, so for Decay, Orb of Decay fires an unblockable orb that passes through enemies, deals 100% weapon damage, and inflicts Disintegrate, dealing 5% weapon damage per second and reducing damage absorption by 5% for 8 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. At max range, it transforms into a healing orb and returns healing friendlies for 20% weapon damage per second for 5 seconds. Healing scales exclusively with focus. So a little bit more of the same. Baleful Tether, fire a projectile that tethers you to an enemy, weakening it and powering you by 4% per second, 20% maximum. The tether ends if the target moves beyond 15 meters, 10-second duration. Essence Rupture, fire a projectile that inflicts Essence Rupture for 10 seconds, healing anyone that hits the target for 20% of the damage done, does not apply damage over time. So first, missed one. So deadly range, 10% damage on successful ranged heavy attacks against targets more than 8 meters away. Fervent Thirst, 5% mana per successful ranged light attacks against target affected by your Void Gauntlet. Oh, looks like we're getting attacked. Let's go ahead and test them first, and we'll go back to doing the skills. So we'll try out the Q. Interesting. So that's Decay, fires an unblockable orb. So for Baleful Tether and Essence Rupture, here's Baleful Tether. Ooh, missed it. Troll. There's the orb again. Interesting. Okay, we'll go back to the skills for a second. So Refreshing Harvest, cooldowns are reduced by 10% per second while performing Harvest Essence. Mana costs are reduced by 25% while above 50% mana. Leeching Bolts, healing from ranged heavy attacks is increased by an additional 30% of damage dealt if the target is below 50% health. Extended Suffering, successful ranged heavy attacks increase the duration of non-crowd control debuffs you have applied by 10%. Mending Evasion, dodging with full mana heals you for 80% weapon damage, scales exclusively with focus. And the ultimate, Glimpse of the Void, gain a stack of Void Essence per successful ability hit. At 4 stacks or more, your next successful ranged heavy attack will instantly reset all Void Gauntlet cooldowns and remove all stacks. Pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and look at the skill buffs. So for Orb of Decay, draining orb, gain 5% mana per enemy hit by the orb. Slowing orb, the orb slows enemies already affected by any debuff, reducing their movement speed by 30% for 3 seconds. Detonating orb, press the ability input again to detonate the orb with a 4-meter explosion radius. Depending on the orb's phase, the explosion will either damage enemies for 100% and apply a stack of Disintegrate, or heal friendlies for 70% weapon damage. Healing skills exclusively with focus. So the upgrades for Baleful Tether. Tethered Refresh, successful hits against the tethered target reduce other Void Gauntlet cooldowns by 5%. Tethered Focus, 100% mana regeneration while Tether is active. Regain 80% weapon damage as health in the if the tethered target dies, scales exclusively with focus. For Essence Rupture, we have Invigorating Rupture. Players additionally receive 15 stamina when hitting the afflicted target, and Overflowing Essence. Friendlies within 4 meters of the afflicted target are healed for 80% of your weapon damage when Essence Rupture ends, scales exclusively with focus. So it seems like it's a lot more healing focused than I thought it was. I thought one of the builds was going to be more lifesteal, which is healing but self-healing. And it sounds like the Decay build is more paired as off-heal for Life Staff. So let's go ahead and use a couple more of these skills really quick since I trolled and missed some. So there's the Life Drain. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I really like the animations for it so far, for sure. So yeah, it looks like it's very much a support role. The cooldowns seem a little high. Of course, you'll have better cooldown reduction, etc., when you have better gear. But yeah, for the most part, it looks like it's going to be used with Life Staff, is what I would assume. I'm definitely gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try out a couple different builds running it with my life staff offhand because it does scale within, and I believe its secondary scales with focus, which makes a lot of sense because of all of the focus scaling. Let's check actually. Does it? Yeah, scales with intelligence and focus. Makes sense. So dodges don't remove the tether, which is good to know. So yeah, guys, this is still in PTR. Like I mentioned, I believe the new patch is coming out in a week or two, so I will definitely get an or get a fire a void gauntlet. I'm so excited for it. I'm gonna get a void gauntlet as soon as I can and start messing around with some builds in both PvE and in wars and invasions. So once I do that, I will put together some more videos for you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you want to check this out, download the PTR, the private test realm for New World in Steam, and you can give it a whirl. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and there will be more videos to come with some more Void Gauntlet gameplay. Thanks, guys.